until that day when all are one. To me, my loyal Decepticons.
Okay everybody, this is the first review, and I'm gonna have to give you all an introduction if you don't know Transformers Armada. But here is my review for Transformers Armada Galvatron. Now look at the size of this guy. I mean, the Armada series was enormous. I mean, man. But anyway, if you don't know what Transformers Armada is, it was, I believe, the third Transformers series that was completely made in Japan. There was Robots in Disguise, Beast Wars 2, and then Transformers Armada, which was fully made in Japan. Armada is the beginning of what people like to call the Unicron trilogy, what Transformers fans like to call the Unicron trilogy. The Unicron trilogy is Armada, Energon, and Cybertron. Now, they're all grouped together in a trilogy because they all have the same voice actors doing the voices of Optimus, Starscream, Galvatron, Demolisher, and all the other Autobots and Decepticons. And Unicron is in all series, so they all group this together in the Unicron trilogy, and they're all made in Japan, at least I think. Yeah, I believe they're all made in Japan. Now, Armada, in my opinion, is the second best Transformers series behind animated. I do think it's better than both G1 and Beast Wars. Now, the reason why is that I give Armada extra points for having great acting. I thought the acting was great. Everybody who did their voices did a really good job. Even the kids that are supposed to be annoying did good jobs. Like, I really actually felt that I was seeing these characters. I wasn't just hearing somebody act. The animation, I think, is still the best. Like, I know, usually with animation, it's either animated, bright colors, Beast Machine's awesome high-definition CGI, or it's Armada's hand-drawn anime, but I think I'm going to go with Armada's hand-drawn anime. And it's the only series where, really, Starscream was a hero, and if you don't know, I'm not going to re-explain it, but watch my review of Transformers animated Starscream, and eventually I will make an Armada review of Armada Starscream when the Takara version arrives. But yeah, Starscream's story was very much in depth, and I also enjoyed the fact that power really got upped in Armada. Like, before it was, typical guns, you gotta actually hide from guns, collect energon, like we could easily die from falling off a cliff. But Armada, on the other hand, really had a lot of power. There were more guns, there was action, there was all this stuff. I mean, really, there were swords around, and they could just easily repair each other. So, yeah, in terms of action, I think Armada really did a good job. And in terms of power, like, I still think that Armada, Autobots, and Decepticons could easily just pwn any other Transformers robots, with the exception of a few in animated. But the thing with Armada is that it has a lot of gimmicks. I'm not going to lie, it has a lot of gimmicks. Now, the whole plot of Armada is essentially, it's in the plot, Autobots wage their fight, it's in, the songs of G1, Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, but the story here takes a twist. It was explained that during the war for Cybertron, the Decepticon Wars, that a long time ago, Minicons, which were these small little robots, the smaller race of robots, were fighting against both suppression from the Autobots and the Decepticons, because the Minicons could combine with any Transformer and give them ungodly amounts of power. So the Minicons fought back, and eventually the Autobots and Decepticons realized that they're getting out of control, and, we can't... there's no way any of us can force them to be our slaves, so they boarded all of the Minicons, both Minicons that were willing to flee and Minicons that had to be forced into this ship. So they gathered all the Minicons into this ship, and then with the portal, they sent the ship through time, and then later it landed on the moon. However, the capsule that contained the Minicons landed on Earth, and it scattered Minicons all over the planet. And millions of years in the future, during the present day, which was 2002 to 2003, which is when the show aired, a Minicon was activated. Humans found a Minicon, and instantly that sent messages to both Autobots and the Decepticons, and the race to find all the Minicons on Earth, gain the power, and rule the universe, or bring peace to the universe begins. So that's the plot of Armada. I'm still watching it. I'm still watching it on YouTube. I watched a few episodes as a kid. I thought it was good. It was really action-packed. And I think the whole story goes away from the Minicons when Unicron enters, but I don't know, I'll see. So anyway, Megatron, I think, is okay as a character in the series. I get the feeling that he's in control, that you shouldn't mess with him, but sometimes he can get a little bit ridiculous, and he isn't like an addict to power, like, I've got to collect the Minicons. I need more power, more power, more power, more power. He's an addict, but I don't know, his voice actor is good, and it is actually pretty deep when he transforms into Galvatron, and he has some sympathy when Starscream dies. I think that was a tear-jerking moment. But I think Megatron was turned to Galvatron when, I think, like, there's a clip where these Minicons are being held in the sky, and then all of a sudden they shine, and then onto Megatron, he gets a new paint job, and he becomes Galvatron. So, that is my intro. I spent about 6 minutes explaining myself. But anyway, the box is huge. I like the artwork, and also Armada was apparently a comic book series as well. But just look at that Galvatron. Look at his eyes. What's with the eyes? Yeah, the comic book's cool. Okay, the back. Okay, it's in French. Okay, here's a brief explanation. Okay, Transformers Armada. Galvatron with Clench Minicon. I believe, before he was Galvatron, his Minicon was Leader 1, but now it's Clench, apparently. With Clench Minicon figure... Okay, yeah, with Clench Minicon figure, the rest is in another language. Okay, the Autobot and Decepticon robots battle for control... The Autobot Decepticon robots battle for control of their home planet, Cybertron. A signal reaches them from another world, revealing the existence of the Minicon robots. The lost race of Transformers robots has awakened after centuries of hibernation on the planet Earth. The Autobots and Decepticons follow the signal to Earth, each one hoping to be the first to find the legendary Minicon robots. Whoever partners with them gains powerful new abilities. The fate of the Earth and the universe depends on who controls these small machines. Will it be the heroic Autobots or the evil Decepticons? Deep. And as you can see, it has a lot of gimmicks, just like the whole Armada line. Holds gun in robot mode. Let's see. Fires projectile, flashing lights, fold-down ramp, grabber claws, electronic sounds, clench, his Minicon, rotating gun turret, Minicon prison cell with opening doors, spring action doors to access more action areas. Oh my Primus, he has a lot. So yeah, I don't know if he was really worth... he's probably worth $50, because look at all this stuff. Robots in disguise. He's an expert, it appears. I guess Hotshot would be like a beginner. So yeah, it's the same thing. Look at that artwork. So yeah, I'm gonna open this bad boy up and I'm gonna review him. I haven't seen Armada toy in like... well, actually a few days, but I haven't owned an Armada toy since, like, 7 years ago, so, well, here he is. Okay, everybody, now what I can say is that it was not a nightmare to open Armada Galvatron here. It just took so long. I mean, literally, it's like, let me just pick it up. These are not even all the wires and bars I had to go through in order to just unlock him from his prison of a box. But the good news is that it didn't get so much. Yeah, look at how many they are. Look at how many strings they had to use for Galvatron here. They also had to use tape, which is weird. Oh, and even I think I forgot something in the back. Yeah, this little pull thing that activates his effects. Let's see. There we go. Got out. He should make sound now. Well, not now. I need to attach a clench here. Now, as for Galvatron here, I overall like him in his tank mode. Now, unless you look at him from the bottom, you couldn't really tell that he's a tank, really. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff here. Ooh, I never knew that. That's kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, he's got a lot of stuff. As you can see here, prisons, little stuff to keep his arms in. Other gimmicks, you know, I'm supposed to pull this out now. I think that's just for tank mode. Yeah, attach him anywhere with clench. You could attach his Minicon a lot of places. You go to his behind. You can obviously see, I think it's for his legs. You can see his legs. Oh, and I even forgot a little piece of rubber band here. This is so annoying. You can obviously hear the you can also hear the springs too. What the hell? Oh, okay, it just snaps off. Yeah, so overall, Galvatron looks pretty good, and you can't really tell he's a robot unless you see his head, and then, of course, you flip him over. Now, what's weird... Let's see, let me see if I can get a better angle. Now, what's kind of odd about the way that they sent, that they package Armada Galvatron is that... he has a little mask, and you're supposed to put his mask over his head so that when he's in tank mode, he doesn't, eat any dirt or anything, or he gets stuff in his mouth. So you're supposed to put the mask over him, but when I unboxed him, he was, I think, he was obviously in his tank mode, at least I think, but the mask was not on him, and that's a mistake. But anyway, yeah, obviously if you turn him around, you can clearly see that he is, a Cybertronian. You know, he's got you can even make out a little bit of his legs. His head, obviously, is here. He's got the pincers. Yeah, but for tank mode, he's pretty well done, pretty cool. And he's even got some birthmarks here, which are like scars of war, and I love scars of war. I don't know why, I just like seeing scars of battle on my figures, which is why I sometimes don't care if some of them get scratched. And, of course, he comes with a lot of accessories. The main one here, of course, is Clench. Now, Clench is obviously of course, a Minicon. He's supposed to be like a double tank or anything. Kind of looks like Blitzwing and animated. And the way I'll transform him... The way you transform is that you just unfold the legs, you put them down, they snap, then you fold his turrets down. There we go. It's kind of fragile, so be careful. Then you just... The Minicons don't really have any articulation. They're just kind of there to look like it. And also you can't see it, but he has the Minicon symbol on his chest. Obviously, he doesn't stand up that well, or maybe he does. Well, nope. Gotta get his feet just at the right position, and there we go. And, yeah, there he is, and here is Clench. Now, in order to transform him back, obviously, the window is his front. He has a little window in his back, kind of like a backpack. Galvatron, please let me go to school. No, we have to destroy the Autobots. Okay, so you straighten the back out. And, of course... The main thing about the Minicons is that if you attach them to the Transformer, you'll get certain abilities. Now, really, if you lost your Minicon, you can still activate those abilities. It just may be trickier. The way you activate them is that there's a little hole with a peg. There's a little peg that sticks out in this hole, and you use it to activate a little button, like a little button that are in the holes, like here, which is why you just can't simply pull them down, because that little hole blocks your path from moving them down. So I'm going to finish transforming Clench here. Got the guitar solo in my head. And let's see what happens when I attach them. It's kind of hard, and I don't want to break anything. There we go. See if he fires. Oh, and he pulls something up, as you can see there. Which is cool. Pull him back off. Also, other places you can put him, obviously, are here. Oh, I think the main sound goes here. He's not making sound, but oh well, it's kind of annoying. I guess I gotta get batteries, but I really don't care. And supposedly you twist this around, but I don't exactly know what it does. And also he has a little spring here, so his tank could go back. And I don't know, actually, it's kind of hard to rotate this. The power is mine, is what he says. And I'm glad he's not making sound, actually. Maybe I just pull it back, or I pull it down. Also, he goes here. I wonder what he does here. It's kind of hard to get him in. I don't know what that did. I think it activates something down there, but oh well. So yeah. And also, he goes on the side here, I guess, but I don't know what point. It's kind of stupid. I think it's more for his robot mode, but if you actually want to put him here, I guess you can. So there he is, ta-da. And I guess he could also even go here. Huh, there's a little switch here, it appears. Whoa, and also you press this switch, and apparently it opens up, like, all these compartments. Here, there are more Minicon ports. Look at this. It's not like that on that side, but I guess if you collect all the Minicons, if you collect a lot of Minicons, and you can put them all here. So I guess I put Clench here. And I guess you get the idea. I think Galvatron's main function is sounds, but oh well, I really don't care about that. Gotta put this down. How to? Oh well, so I guess you put the Minicons there, and there we go. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. And there are other ports you could go into, but that's basically what Clench can attach to. And also, Galvatron comes with other stuff. He comes with 3 missiles here that you can, like, stick in here. I guess he could shoot out, though I don't know how. I think you have to attach Clench, but oh well. So you could stick a pellet in here, and also I think you can do some in this compartment. Also, supposedly he has a compartment for Minicons, which is here. You're just supposed to, like, snap that open, but... yeah, this prison is supposed to be a Minicon prison, and maybe I'll figure that out later. But, yeah, the Armada toy line is confusing. And also, lastly, I think that's pretty much it for Galvatron mode. You could put him on the sides here, which opens up a little ramp. I think that's also a Minicon prison. And so, yeah, Galvatron basically knows that basically, yeah, if Minicons ever try to cross his way, yeah, you're doomed. So here are the other 2 pellets. Here is his card. It's really well painted on card. And he comes with instructions on how to transform him. He doesn't look that confusing since if you turn him on the back, he's mostly transformed. But a lot of this is, again, just for his gimmicks and Clench. Clench, who is amazingly easy. And also it comes with a mini comic book, The Unicron Battles, Transformers Armada. There's a lot of stuff there. There are the Minicons. There's more. I think this is for another line. Dark Saber. I think it was the Star Saber originally. So yeah, and then the Minicon, and then the artwork. The artwork, of course, is Japanese anime. It's awesome. Transformers Armada for the PlayStation 2. My friend said it's a bad game, but it's at the same time kind of cool. And more advertisements, so yeah. Anyways, there's Galvatron's tank mode, and I'm going to get him in his robot mode and get this whole thing going. Okay, everybody, well, here is Armada Galvatron in his robot mode. Now, the first thing I want to say is that, as you would expect, this is a very, very gimmicky Transformer, very gimmicky, you know, has a lot of stuff that you can do, but at the expense, they kind of sacrifice articulation. His articulation isn't exactly the best. You know, his hand can't really go 360. It can go at an angle, and also, it can go this way, but it can't go diagonal, really. It's not on a rotation. Now my watch is going off, but ignore it. So, yeah, it's really hard to get his... It can be tricky to get his arms to do, what you want them to, and also his legs are no different. Really, they're held stiff. I guess you can move them like that, but what can he really do? He's already perfectly standing, just like that. But his gimmicks are fairly interesting. Okay, for example, he has three pegs, and one thing that you can do is that they can go into the cannon, or supposedly there's a little slot here. I heard there was a little slot at the leg that allows you to peg these in, but I don't exactly know how that's supposed to work. But I've also seen in a review that if you go like this, and if you insert them anywhere, like if you insert them like this, it's supposed to, you know, like, display that he has more, weaponry, like he has more missiles. You're supposed to do it like that, but I don't know, it's very loose and it just falls down, so I don't know how you're supposed to do it with that. But I heard, like, there are other options for, like, these things to peg in, or maybe it's this side, but then again, no, because they don't have any, like, little free slots, as well. I think you can maybe peg it in here, but it doesn't seem to work. Yeah, so I don't know how one reviewer was able to get these things into his shoulders. But one cool thing is that you can, like in the show, if you, make room, and if you allow him to do it like this, his tank is now facing you, just like he did in the show when he grabs Clench. As you can see, it's good. Pretty decent, like, with the paint job. And also, of course, every Transformer has some sort of attack mode. Now, with Galvatron, here, you just go like this, you lift the chest up, then you, let's see if I can find a way, then you rotate this part, you rotate this tank forward, but let's see if I can get it right. There we go. You rotate this forward, and then afterwards, it's facing you, you pull it back down, and now you have Galvatron in his attack mode. You can bring them down, and supposedly the Clench gimmick activates. Like, I heard you're supposed to attach it here, then you rotate it, and it's supposed to go around, but I don't know, that doesn't work for me. You can still do this stuff. Galvatron's gonna screw you up. So yeah, also you can put it here, but again, still, also, I think I know the point. You put it here, then you move it forward. Move it forward. Huh. Oh, whoops. Yeah, you're supposed to move it, like, forward or something, but I don't know, I guess you can move it like that, and then you put two little missiles in here. Maybe you can't. I don't know, they don't fit. Maybe you're supposed to put something else in. Oh, wait, no, it's just the wrong way. There we go. You put two new things in here. Let's see if I can get it right. There we go. Now you're supposed to do all this other crazy stuff. But apparently you can't because the articulation is somewhat limited. So you take them out. Can't find a way. Oh yeah, it's supposed to go like that. And yeah, that's his attack mode. And also another cool thing is that with this little arm, if you don't even need a Minicon for this, if you can, if you pull this thing out, he has his own dagger, which I think is pretty cool. He comes with his own dagger. How can you not like that? So yeah, it's actually kind of ghetto. It's like, yes, I'm Galvatron. I'm gonna slice you into pieces, homeboy. So that's pretty cool. And also, Clench here can go in other places. He can go on his top of his leg, if you want. His arm, which acts as more destruction. This arm too. So he's got a lot of firepower without doubt. He can also go here. There's more firepower if you want it. Kind of tricky. There it is. And also, lastly, you can transform Clench into a gun, I believe, but it's kind of tricky to get him to stay in place. You just unfold these. Then you bring one of his arms down. Supposedly, that's supposed to be a socket in one of his arms. And then afterwards, it's supposed to snap into place. And there we go. And my watch is going off again. Well, basically, with all of his stuff, and with all of his firepower and all, let me see if I can insert this one in. Rotate it. Doesn't want to go in right now, but oh well. So, yeah, that is Galvatron in his attack mode and his mode, and that's where full power comes in. So yeah, on a scale, like matching him up, like his face is a little bit too angry, so that kind of deducts points. I like these pincers though. Well, I don't like them in the design, but I like the function they have, even if it was distracting. I would have to give Galvatron here a B+ or an A, or I think a B+, because he does sacrifice articulation, and he doesn't have an exactly correct face, and and he can be loose. But overall, he still acts. He has a great paint job. I also like the battle marks here. Some of his gimmicks can be cool, and overall, he's just a nice figure all around. So Galvatron here gets a B+, and he's great for modeling as always. So that's it for my review, and I'll see you all later. Anything on the back? Nope. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye. The power is mine.
Support Cybertron. Subscribe.